Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I see lots of Merry Christmas wishes. Thank you for that. For those of you celebrating Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope everybody is having a fantastic weekend regardless of where you are in this world today. Students, in this class, we are looking at IELTS speaking part 1. I'm going to be giving you some Band 9 tips, and we're going to be doing lots and lots of exercise to help you get that Band 9 score. Students, as usual, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. We are going to be using the website aehelp.com in a few moments to practice our IELTS speaking with some viewers. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderator. Welcome, Janelle, Nadine. Welcome to our members. Thank you for your support. Welcome to our regular students. Hi, Cassandra. Welcome, Jamil. Students, you are currently experiencing the world's most popular IELTS learning. We do offer the world's most popular IELTS YouTube channel, as well as the apps Academic IELTS Help and the app General IELTS Help. You can download those from your app stores. They will link to our websites. Again, our websites look like this. This is aehelp.com. You can click this big red button to join the premium IELTS package. It doesn't cost a lot of money. In fact, it's just a fraction of your IELTS exam cost, and it's well worth it to maximize your scores. You can try it for free by clicking this try demo button. The green button gives you free access to a lot of the materials, and you can use the chat that we're going to be using today for free. So you can chat with other IELTS students, practice your English, practice your IELTS speaking. And for general IELTS, it's this green background, and you just click this big red button that's right above my head here to join the premium package. We are an official IELTS test registration center, and we are certified British Council agents, so we know what we're talking about. We know what we're doing. We've done the IELTS exam ourselves. We're trained in education psychology, so you're in great hands with us. Absolutely. You can follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTS Help, to get our live stream schedules as well as daily vocabulary. We've got lots of IELTS coming up for the rest of this year. So we've got a few days break coming up. No class Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but then we've got lots and lots more IELTS from Wednesday onwards, all the way from January 29th, right into the new year, right into 2022, January 1st. So we are pushing forward and making sure that everybody succeeds in their school and immigration goals in 2022. So be sure to join us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see this schedule on our YouTube channel. Also, students, you can send me an email if you have questions, adrian@aehelp.com. Just email me, okay? All right, everyone, so let's get into speaking. So you are in the IELTS speaking test. The speaking test is separate from the listening, reading, writing, okay? So the speaking, you do an interview. Even right now with COVID, they're doing interviews, but you have to wear a face mask, which is not ideal, but make sure to practice with the face mask so that you get the feel for it. We have a really good video on our YouTube channel about wearing a face mask during your IELTS speaking exam. So you go to your exam 1 hour before it starts so that you have time to get comfortable, get confident, practice with some other IELTS candidates, use your English. Don't go into your IELTS speaking cold. Okay, so don't go in there and the first words that are coming out of your mouth are my full name is, or here's my identification. Okay, that's not good. So you want to warm up, and you register, and then you go and you sit face to face with an IELTS examiner, kind of like me, and then the exam will begin. It will take about 12 minutes. It will have 3 parts. The first part, questions that introduce you, questions that are kind of generally about you, your life, your hobbies, your interests, your likes, your dislikes. So it will work like this. You go into your IELTS exam, you sit down, you're looking at the examiner, and the examiner will probably look very serious. The instructions for the examiner is to look serious. They're not supposed to be friendly. They're not there to chit-chat with you. You paid $300 US or close to $300 US for this exam. It's a serious exam. It's used for international proof of English proficiency. So you're not there to make a friendly talk. This isn't your ESL teacher, or this is not your high school teacher. This is a professional interview to assess your English. The instructions for the examiner are to look serious, okay, and to be neutral, okay, so that they don't influence your English. All right, so the examiner is sitting there, and the examiner says, welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. This is candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are currently conducting this exam in Toronto. The time right now is 13 o'clock. I'm recording this for marking and clerical purposes. We shall now begin. May I see your identification? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay, so always a nice full sentence answer right away, showing your fluency, right away, showing your maximum English. Be confident right away. So don't just go sure. Okay, at least say something like, absolutely. Here is my passport that I used for my online IELTS registration. Last month. Please take a look. Right? Nice full sentence showing that fluency. Repeat after me. Students, this is speaking. So speak and repeat. Okay. Repeat questions as well. May I see your identification? Absolutely. Here's my passport that I used for my online IELTS registration last month. Please take a look. Okay, that's how you do it. Irfan says, certainly, here's my passport, which I used to register for the test. Please have a look. Nadine says, yes, gladly, here's my passport. Okay, yeah, Nadine, that's like the absolute minimum that you want to say. Shailesh says, yes, sir, this is my passport. I use this for registering for my IELTS exam. Please have a look. Amrinder says, of course, here's my passport that I used for registration. Please have a look. Sure. Cassandra says, gladly, here's my passport that I've used for registration last week. You can have a look. You may have a look as a bit off, Cass, I think. I would say, please have a look, or please take a look. Pushpendra says, gladly, here's my passport that I used for booking my IELTS exam a couple of weeks ago. Very nice. All of those work. And then the examiner, while you have your passport out, will say, what is your full name? Okay, what is your full name? Give your full name and tell them what you want to be called. Don't wait for that question, okay? I still find that some students are waiting for that, okay? So tell them what to call you. Do not wait for this question. So when you tell them what they should call you, it shows that you prepared, okay? it makes the IELTS examiner feel better about their job too. They're like, oh, okay, this isn't just a person that's like, yeah, whatever, IELTS, I'll just go in and wing it. No, you don't want to look like you're just winging it. You want to go in there looking like you prepared for the exam, and not just the day before, but you actually spent a few months preparing for it because you know that it's a huge part of your next step in life, like university or immigration, okay, or getting a good job. All right. Shiny Jacob says, my full name is Shiny Anil. Please call me Shiny. Okay. Tanish says, my first name is Tanish and my family name is Sharma. Please call me Tanish. Jainil says, my given names are Jainil and Jayanti, and my surname is Gabani. Please just call me by my family name, Gabani. I'm used to this. Okay, yeah, Gabani. All right. Fatma says, my complete name is Fatma Hassan. Khairi is my last name. Please call me with my first name, Fatma. Very nice. Fatma, just be really nice and fluent when you give that much information. Okay. Amrinder says, my full name is Amrinder Pal Singh Dhaliwal. As it is a long name, please just call me Amrinder. Okay, I like it. All right, I like that nice natural explanation. As it is a long name, please just call me Amrinder. Okay, very good. So you might say something like, my full name, as it is in my passport, is Keith Mackenzie, let's say. Please just call me by my first name, Keith. And then the examiner will say, okay, Keith, we will now continue. I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic, okay? So here, my answer again, so repeat after me. What is your full name? My full name, as it is in my passport, is Keith Mackenzie. Please just call me by my given name, Keith. The as it is in my passport tells the examiner again that, you know, you're aware of the exam and you realize that they're matching you with your credentials, and that's absolutely okay. And the examiner can go, yep, okay, that's how it is in your passport. That's fine. Be nice and natural, everyone, okay? All right, so then the examiner will continue with some more questions to get to know you. Now, students, I want to give you lots of chances at the end of this live IELTS week to practice with me, and I find that it's great for students when I give feedback. So I'm going to call some candidates, some of our viewers, and we're going to practice together for the rest of this class. Now, pay really careful attention to everyone's responses and my feedback, as obviously many people tend to make the same kinds of mistakes, and this applies to all or most candidates, okay? So first, let me explain to you how you can get on a call with me, all right? So this is what you have to do to volunteer for some questions in this class. First of all, you have to register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com, okay? And you can register a free account by clicking the green button, okay? So that try demo button, that's right here. It's kind of tricky to find that. And so that's how you create a free account. If you decide that, hey, this is great, I want to, you know, support these guys, I think they're doing valuable work, and I think this is valuable for me to improve and get the best score possible, then click this big red button for joining the premium package. You'll discover that it really doesn't cost a lot of money anyway, and there's lots of help there for you. And then once you do that, once you register a free or a paid account, you have this My Student account that's right there, okay? Of course, it's a responsive website, so you're going to see different layouts depending on what kind of device you're using. So you click on that My Student account, and then in the My Student account, you're going to find lots and lots of great useful materials, original practice exams, interactive courses, lesson videos. Like I say, we're one of the best companies in the world for helping people with their IELTS preparation and their English. So you click on this Student Partner Speaking that's right above my head here. Okay, Student Partner Speaking. Now, when you do this, you have to accept the terms so that you can use this function. It basically says that you're going to be polite and use this service in a respectable manner. And then it will ask you, actually, you'll get probably another pop-up here the first time that you're using this. Now, you can't see this because I use this often, but you'll see another pop-up that will say enable microphone and speaker for this website. Make sure you do that, students. So make sure that you're enabling, this is your fourth step, your microphone and your speaker. Otherwise, you won't be able to use the function, obviously, right? So, and then as the last step, you want to send me a message in the chat to Master. So let me put this up here. So in the chat, I'll show you how to do that in a second for Master. There'll be Master, that'll be in the chat. And then you want to message Master saying, I want to volunteer. And as soon as you do that, you're going to ping me. Okay, and then I know that you're looking to volunteer. So right now, we already have lots of students in here. We have, and there's lots of people using this service all the time. We have Omar, Nadine, Gokul, Carolina, Jamil, Shaheen, and lots more, Cassandra. And then you click on this kind of blue button like Nam just did. So I can see Nam here with this little 1 that's there, okay? So I can guess that Nam has just sent me a message. Let me check that out. Okay, so yeah, see, there's Nam. So it says chat with Nam. So Nam says, I want to volunteer. Nam, let's see if you're ready. So are you ready? And then make sure you mute YouTube so we're not getting feedback, okay, through your speakers. Nam says yes. Cool, Nam. All right, let's do this. And I'm always trying to catch some new students, different students, just to give everybody a little bit of flavor and taste for the IELTS. Here we go. Let's call Nam. We're doing voice only. Hello, Nam.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yes, I'm very great. Nice to see you.
That's awesome, Nam. And Nam, where are you calling from? Where are you right now?
Right now, I live in Vietnam, and we must speak in Hanoi, capital of Vietnam.
Great, nice answer. You're in the capital of Vietnam, in Hanoi. That's awesome. So thank you so much for being our first volunteer today, Nam. That's very, very brave of you, and it's great to boost your confidence for the IELTS exam. So I will ask you a question, just like the IELTS examiner might ask you. Give me a nice full sentence answer, and I'll give you a score estimate and some feedback. Does that sound good?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, Nam. What did you do yesterday?
Well, basically, yesterday I just bought over my English materials to prepare the tomorrow IELTS test.
Okay. Nam, thank you. That was good. So great. Nice. And I'm very happy you giving me a good full sentence answer. Okay, Nam, so your band score for that, just like if of course, nobody will ever give you a band score on one question only, but if I had only this one question, I would give you a band 5. I'll explain why. So band 5 means that you're just under what's considered a fluent speaker of the English language. Okay, which is still pretty good. A lot of people are like, oh, 5 is not that good, but 5 is still a, it's a decent. I wish I could be a level 5 in other languages. I'll explain why it's a level 5. So when I asked you the question, what did you do yesterday? And you said, well, basically and it sounded like you said walked my IELTS. Maybe it's because I didn't hear you, but did you mean like I just studied my IELTS materials?
I mean that I was bored over the IELTS material.
I'm still not exactly clear on what you mean.
Yes, maybe that's my pronunciation was so good.
Yeah, so that could be pronunciation. So make sure that, the other words I was clear. So your pronunciation for many words are great, but maybe for some words it's not clear enough. And if the pronunciation is confusing the meaning, that can be a problem. So pronunciation is not a big deal unless it confuses the meaning. So make sure that you're picking words that you can pronounce coherently, understandably, okay? So maybe you want to say, well, basically I just studied my IELTS materials, okay? Also, another way to improve your response is reflect the question. So I said, what did you do yesterday, right? So use the word yesterday in your answer, okay? So, well, basically I just studied my IELTS materials yesterday. And then give a little bit of number information. That can really help your score, okay? So from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m., okay, or until nighttime to prepare. And then here you had some more grammatical mistakes that were a little bit awkward, as tomorrow my IELTS. You're talking about the present still from the past, but you actually have to talk about it more in the present. So to prepare for today's IELTS test, okay? So that would be clearer as far as content and information as well, okay? All right, so be really careful with mispronouncing words that make the sentence confusing. Careful with your grammar, and just keep practicing and you'll do great, okay? So let me ask the question, give you the answer, and then I'll ask the question and repeat my answer, okay?
Yes, okay.
Okay, here we go. So what did you do yesterday? Well, basically, I just studied my IELTS materials yesterday from 8 a.m. until nighttime to prepare for today's IELTS test. What did you do yesterday?
Well, basically, I just study IELTS material from the 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the next day IELTS exam.
Okay, almost. That was better. So that was clear. It was less confusing, right? You didn't have any words that I couldn't clearly understand. Again, remember to use the question, right? So if the question is, what did you do yesterday? Yesterday, I studied my IELTS materials. So use the question right away in your answer, and that will help you to get a better band score, even if it's just half a band more, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, Nam. Thank you so much for being our very, very first volunteer. Can everybody just give Nam a bit of applause? He was very brave to be the first one out of the gates. Thank you for sharing your English with us and for helping other students. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Sid, give a nice thumbs up to Nam. That's awesome. And I'll give a clap as well. Yeah, support each other, students. Different candidates have different levels, and you want to, know where you're at and go from there. Okay, so just kind of coming back to the notes here, and a very important note that's useful for, I think, everyone is use the question. So this is my tip for a high band score off the hop here, is use the question in your answers to build fluency and accuracy. You'll get a better band score this way, okay? So use this tip. All right, everyone? Use this tip. It's very, very useful. Okay, and be aware of the words that you might mispronounce in such a way that it's hard for others to understand, and try to maybe avoid those words during the IELTS exam. Okay. All right, let's take another volunteer. So here we go. That was Nam from Vietnam. And now let's see who else is in here. So, okay, Nadine, I believe, was probably early on here. Let's see if I can reach out to Nadine with a question. Okay. When you're using this, students, always message each other first. Just it's a polite way to kind of engage the conversation. So are you ready? Okay. So Nadine says, I want to volunteer. Great, you're following my instructions precisely. So let's see if Nadine is there and available, and then we'll reach out, ask a question. Yes, with exclamation mark. Students, there's never a space before your exclamation marks. This is a tip for writing. I often see spaces before exclamation marks, question marks, colons. There's no space, okay? Punctuation comes right after the last letter. All right, Nadine, here we go. Hello, Nadine. I can hear you picked up the phone, but I can't hear you. Make sure you have your speaker and microphone enabled and working on your device and on the browser. I know from past experience, sometimes it takes a couple seconds for a volunteer to adjust their audio settings. Students, make sure, for those of you who are planning to volunteer, have a look at your settings for your audio and make sure that you have your microphone and your speaker working properly, and make sure that you have enabled it and allowed it on your browser. You have to do that on your phone and on your computer as well, okay? All right, Nadine, I'm going to hang up for now, but try again in a little bit, and I'll come back and see if you fixed the audio issue on your end after we have another volunteer. Okay, Nadine? So I'll keep you in mind. All right. Nadine says, I'm getting an error message. Nadine, send me whatever that error message is. I think it's probably going to be local to your computer, depending on what you're using. But send me the error message, Nadine, and we'll take a look at that. Okay. All right. Okay, so Pushpendra, I think, is one of our members. So I want to give Pushpendra a chance here. I don't think we've spoken yet, so let's see if Pushpendra is in here. So Pushpendra says, hello, Adrian Sir, may I become a volunteer? Yes. Are you ready? Okay, let's see if I can reach out to Pushpendra, and hopefully that error message isn't global. Shouldn't be. Hi, Pushpendra.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Pushpendra, are you one of our members?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought so, because I've seen your name before, but it's not that common, so I figured you were our member,
Yeah.
Pushpendra, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being a member of our channel, and I hope you're getting lots of help from all of the materials. That's great. Pushpendra, may I ask, why are you taking the Ielts exam?
Because I want to go abroad for my master degree
Okay.
at Canada, in Canada.
In Canada. Nice correction. That's great. Self-corrections, by the way, are very, very good. So if you catch a mistake, like you said, at Canada, and then you quickly correct it to in Canada, that's good. Okay. Native speakers make self-corrections in their own language as well. So you want to do that on IELTS. So that's a smart technique. Okay. All right. Pushpendra, I'm going to ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer, and then I will reflect on your answer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Yesterday, did you do anything to relax?
Yes. Yesterday I went to lake. I went to lake, which is near, which is not far from my home, with my best friends.
Okay. Good. Pushpendra, you would definitely get 6 to 6.5. I mean, I'm using just one question to give you an estimate here. I actually think you're higher based on our complete conversation. I think you can get a 6.5 to 7. Okay. You're making a couple of just tiny little mistakes, and I think if you fix those, you can even go up to 7.5. Okay. So here we go. So remember to use the question, use the full question, right? So my question was, did you do anything to relax? What's another way to say relax? So like, what's a synonym? What's a synonym for relaxing?
Out of stress.
To de-stress, we say de-stress, not out of stress, but we say to de-stress. Yeah, that would be a good one. And then Jaineel in the chat and Peaceful Land is saying you could also say unwind. Okay.
Okay.
There's also a really good expression, chill out. Okay, have you ever heard this phrasal verb, this idiom, chill out?
No.
It's a new one? Okay. Oh, it's a new word. Good. So you want to paraphrase the question, and you want to use the question in your answer to push your mark into those higher band 7, band 8 categories. So you said yesterday, or you said, yes, sir, yesterday I went to the lake, which is not far from my home, with my best friends. Okay, that was a good answer, but still a bit too simple for those higher band scores like band 7, 8, 9. So you want to keep going a little bit, and you want to give a little bit more detail. So this is how I would finish what you started. Yes, sir. Yesterday I went to the lake, which is not too far from my home, with my best friends to chill out for a couple of hours, do a bit of fishing, and have lunch. Okay? So now you're actually telling me what you did. So going to the lake is relaxing. I get it. But usually when people go to a lake, they do something like they go swimming, they go for a boat ride, they have a picnic. So there's some activity that happens at the lake which helps you to relax, right? So you want to think about that. You want to think about that. So be kind of creative visually when you're giving the answers so that you can build that fluency, and then that will also increase your lexical resource, your vocabulary, to show me that higher band score. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, so I'm going to read the question again, and then the answer, and then I'll read the question and repeat the answer, okay?
Okay.
All right. So yesterday, did you do anything to relax? Yes, yesterday I went to the lake, which is not too far from my home, with my best friends to chill out for a couple of hours, do a bit of fishing, and have lunch. Yesterday, did you do anything to relax?
Yes, sir. Yesterday I went to lake, which is not far from my home, with my best friends to chill out for a couple of hours, do a bit of fishing, and have a lunch.
Much better. Okay, so that answer would get you a 7.5 for sure. All right, no problem. It would get you a 7.5. In fact, if you keep answering that way, you'd probably get even a higher band score. All right, your pronunciation's fine. I understand every word. Careful with your grammar. I went to a lake, or I went to the lake, which is near my house. So that would take that noun would take some kind of an article. Okay, so either an a or a the. All right. Very good. So Pushpendra, thank you so much for being our second volunteer for today. And again, thank you for being a member of our YouTube channel and for showing your support. Everybody give Pushpendra, and keep coming back, Pushpendra. I'll be looking for you more in the future as well, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir, for giving an opportunity to me.
Absolutely. You're very, very welcome. And the best of luck with your plans to study your master's in Canada. Bye, Pushpendra.
Bye, sir.
All right, so that was Pushpendra. So yeah, definitely the system is working, students. So if you're getting an error message, it's likely something local on your end, okay? So check out what's going on, test out the system, okay? All right, so I'm looking for some more volunteers. We have Ram Ratan, who has sent me a couple of messages here. Let's try to reach out to Ramratan. Okay, Ramratan, are you ready? Okay, I'm going to try to pick up some speed here. I think everybody has a good idea of what we're doing now, so we can go nice and smoothly through some questions. Okay, this is Ramratan. Let's see if Ramratan is here. I'm always going to message you because I don't know, please don't use this, students or viewers, if you're driving or doing something that could be dangerous if you're multitasking, okay? You have to be responsible for what you're doing, all right? All right, I'm not getting a message back from Ramratan, so I'm going to reach out to Cassandra and see if we can get a hold of Cassandra. Just to switch it up, it's good to have a female voice here as well. So Cassandra, are you ready? All right, and when I message you, do message me back. So keep the window open, students. If I know that you're ready, then I can reach out to you. Okay, and I know we have a little bit of a delay between YouTube and the real world. Okay, let's reach out to Cassandra here. Hi, Cassandra.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. Now, Cassandra, I know you've volunteered a couple of times before, and you're a regular viewer of our channel, so you have a pretty good idea of what's going on, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I will just jump right into a question, and then we'll analyze your response. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about learning. What are you learning these days?
Actually, for the past few days, I'm actually learning how to cook Wagyu beef for our Christmas dinner today. Since I'm a newbie on this kind of field on cooking steaks, so yesterday I scrolled down on YouTube and get the steps on how to cook that steak in a iron cast skillet, and that's why I get the hang of it when I cook that beef.
Okay, very nice fluency. Always a good indicator that any volunteer has good fluency like yourself, is I'm not able to keep up with the typing with your response, so I went to YouTube. That can also be an indicator that you might want to slow down a little bit too, if I can't
Okay.
catch too much of it. Might, okay?
Okay.
In your case, you're looking at about a band 7. Okay, depending on how strict your examiner is on grammar mistakes. Some examiners tend to be stricter for grammar mistakes. Some examiners don't emphasize grammar mistakes as much if you're very coherent and very fluent. So there, it depends a little bit on luck. So like if some examiner is really strict on grammar, they might give you a 6.5 because you are making some grammatical errors in your response with just with the way that you're organizing the sentence, the form of the word. However, your grammar mistakes aren't so critical that you're losing the meaning of what you're saying. So I can clearly understand you. It's just a bit awkward at times. I'm like, okay, it's clear, but that's not the way it should sound. That's kind of, so what I would recommend, Cassandra, is definitely record yourself often when you're practicing your speaking. Listen back to your recordings on your phone and find where you're making grammar mistakes. And a good way to do that is by actually typing down your speech, so transcribing it and then looking at it and then being like, oh yeah, okay, that would be better with this kind of a verb or this kind of an ending. So you can fix it that way, okay? Overall, your answer was very good and accurate. You said, actually, for the past few days, you'd had a bit of repetition there. So I'm learning recipes to cook for Christmas dinner. Okay, so recipes
Okay.
to cook for Christmas dinner, since I'm a newbie at cooking steaks. You repeated cooking. Steaks, we don't really, yeah, we cook steaks, but There's a better verb for that. What do we?
Searing.
Searing is a very good verb. Yeah, we sear steaks or we grill steaks.
Okay.
Okay, so grilling
Grilling.
steaks. Yeah, searing is okay. Grilling, I think, is even better, but that's just my personal preference on steaks. So, grilling steaks. So, I went on YouTube and watched some pros make it. Do this, and now I'm confident that I will also do a great job. Okay, so a little bit slower, a little bit more attention to grammar, a little bit more attention to vocabulary choice, and less redundancy. Okay, so I'm going to read the question, give you the answer, and then you follow through after me. Okay. So what are you learning these days? Actually, for the past few days, I'm learning recipes to cook for Christmas dinner. Since I'm a newbie at grilling steaks, so I went on YouTube and watched some pros do this, and now I'm confident that I will also do a great job. What are you learning these days?
Actually, for the past few days, I'm learning recipes to cook for Christmas dinner. Since I'm a newbie on grilling steaks, so I went on YouTube and watched some of the pros do this, and now I'm confident that I will also do a great job.
Much better. Okay, good. And you actually slowed your speech there. I really like how you slowed your speech in the middle and you started to drag some of your words to build your accuracy. That's very smart. Okay, that leads to better communication. That's what you want to do in your real exam and your real communication. Okay.
Okay.
So dragging your words like that is a natural part of English. A lot of native speakers, including myself, I do it. If you listen carefully to these lessons, you'll sometimes hear me drag my words like this to emphasize points, to give clarity to my communication, to think of more ideas, okay?
Okay.
All right. So that was fantastic. By the way, I did like the use of the word newbie. The examiner will catch words like that as well. It's natural. It's pop culture. It shows that you're more familiar with the English language. So using words like newbie is a good idea. Before I let you go, Cassandra, can you explain to everybody what that word actually means? So what is the meaning of newbie?
Novice.
Yeah, when you're explaining, just give full sentences. So it's a person who has not...
not an expert. It's like an entry level, like that, or like that.
Do you know where it comes from? So where this word became really popular in pop culture?
I don't have any idea.
It's actually in the world of computers. So people said, oh, he's a newbie at that in the computer world, at games, for example, or at programming. And then it really caught fire because computers have such a big influence in people's lives today. So, words that come into the computer world, like social media, they become a part of culture, right? Like FaceTime, for example. Well, let's have some FaceTime. Obviously, that's coming from social media. Newbie kind of came that way as well through computers. Okay, Cassandra, thank you so much for sharing your English with us and for continuing to volunteer and be a part of these lessons. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Cassandra. Give Cassandra an applause. And students, when you're catching new words that your peers are using, definitely write them down, okay? They're useful. So using words like newbie, the examiner catches that and the examiner goes, oh, okay, this person's probably using English in their daily life and that's why they're picking up words from pop culture. All right. Okay, let's have another volunteer, everyone. Okay, so let's take another volunteer. Bandita, I know that Bandita is one of our members. So Bandita says, sir, can I volunteer? Yes, are you ready? Okay, let's reach out to Bandita. Again, I'm going to try to move fairly quickly, but I do want to go slow enough that you're picking up some valuable feedback and information. So let's see if yes, Bandita's there. Okay, let's reach out to Bandita. Bandita's there. Okay, let's reach Hi, Bandita.
Yeah, hi. Hi, sir.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. You sound a little bit nervous. Are you feeling a bit nervous, Bandita?
No, nothing.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
speaking
Great. You're,
speaking is bit nervous, but I'll manage.
all right. Yeah, confidence, confidence. Believe in
Mhm.
yourself, Bandita. I know you're a
Yeah,
regular viewer as well, and you are a member of our channel, which is great.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
Bandita, I'm going to ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer. Okay, think about
yeah,
answer, explanation, example. Okay, think about those
yeah,
three
yeah,
elements. Okay, here we
yeah.
go. Do you like to study? Why or why not?
I love to study either literature or technical to improve my skill sets. Nowadays, I'm like improving my skills in English to appear IELTS exam. Prior to this, also like I always upgrade my technology to cope with my job and improve my productivity.
Okay, very good. Very nice. Um, so nowadays I'm improving my English for the IELTS exam, and also I'm improving my technical skills to improve my productivity. Okay. I know you said a few other words in there as well, but that's about how much I caught.
Mhm.
Okay. Not bad, not bad at all. I certainly think you would get easily a 6.5, maybe a 7 as well. So you're hovering around that 6.5, 7 level, Bandita.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
there was a word at the very beginning there that I had trouble catching, and I don't know if it's because of our connection. Maybe if we were sitting face to face, it would be
I
easier.
love to study.
Yeah,
I
you said
love
I
to
love
study.
to study. I got that. I got the I love to
Mhm.
study, and then you said something between I love to study
Uh,
or
with
technical information.
literature, yeah, literature and technical subject.
Literature.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, your pronunciation is definitely a little bit off on that. So I love to study literature.
Yeah, literature.
Okay, when you have a word that's quite
Mhm,
complex to pronounce in
mhm,
English, slow it
mhm,
down. Okay, so I
mhm,
love to study literature. And if you see that the examiner kind of does this
mhm,
kind of like this what face, right?
mhm,
So if you see their eyes kind of close and be like, what was that? Or they
mhm.
kind of look up at you and like give you this like, huh? Then what you want to do is you want to paraphrase that more. Okay. So I love to study literature, books, and writing. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm
Mhm,
paraphrasing literature right away so that
mhm,
the listener can go, aha, oh yeah, okay, it must have been literature that she just said
mhm,
because she just said books
mhm,
and writing. Um,
mhm,
okay, so that's one kind of trick, if you will,
mhm, mhm.
to help your pronunciation is by paraphrasing words that sound awkward. Does that
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, don't do it all the time because then you're going to have too much repetition. But any word that you feel like, that pronunciation, I can tell by their reaction, then paraphrase it. So I love to study literature, books, and writing, or technical skills to improve my skill sets. Skill sets. Let's try to avoid repetition of words,
Mhm,
abilities. Okay.
mhm.
Nowadays, I'm improving my English for the IELTS exam. And also, I'm improving my, let's be specific here, so computer skills to increase my productivity.
Yeah.
And then you can even give an example in this way. I have decided to sit the computer based IELTS exam, right? Because then you're using the computers and IELTS together. So you're being clever there.
Yeah,
Computer
yeah.
based IELTS exam. And hopefully I'll do well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what you want to do. Okay. Careful with
Okay.
words that are awkward in the pronunciation. Okay. And when you're
Mhm,
speaking, Bandita, you're a little bit
mhm.
flat. Okay, you're a little bit flat. English is quite rhythmic. So la 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 bop, ba da ba da ba da bop, ba bop, ba da bop. It's kind of popping and jumping, right? Try to be a little bit more melodic. So a little bit more up and down when you're speaking. Okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know the intonation is not good. I just talk in one.
Yeah, overdo
Pitch.
it. Overdo it. The trick is to overdo it. That's what actors and actresses do. They overdo it. It's called melodrama. So you want to overdo it. And in the IELTS, it's good to overdo it a little bit. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I'll read the question and the answer, and then you follow after me, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, do you like to study? Why or why not? I love to study literature, books and writing, or technical skills to improve my abilities. Nowadays, I'm improving my English for the IELTS exam, and also I'm improving my computer skills to increase productivity. In this way, I decided to sit the computer-based IELTS, and hopefully I'll do well. So, do you like to study? Why or why not?
Yeah, I love to study literature in writing books, also reading the technical subjects to improve my productivity. Nowadays, I'm reading English to appear for IELTS exam, and hopefully I'll appear for a computer-based IELTS test, and I'll do the best. I'm hoping so.
Okay, good. All right. A little bit of repetition at the end there, but that's okay. So
Yeah.
finish with confidence, right? Finish your sentence with confidence. You can
Yeah.
just, I'm hoping to do the best. Stop there. That was good, okay? Still work on that intonation. So going up and down with your voice. When it feels weird, when you're like, oh, but it feels so weird, that's probably when it's normal, okay? So English should feel almost a little bit weird when you're going up and down with your voice, okay?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Thank
All
you
right.
for your advice. Yeah.
Absolutely, Bandita. Keep it up and keep practicing. Thank you so much for volunteering. Everybody, please give Bandita an applause for her effort. That was awesome. Okay, thank you, Bandita. Really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right, we'll take one more volunteer for the day. Let's see who's in here with us again in the chat. So everybody... here we have Rabbi Aksan, okay, so, and we have Zilia, fantastic names, Rabbi Aksan and Zilia. Okay, let's try Rabbi Aksan. I'm going to send a message to Rabbi Aksan. So, hello, sir, I want to volunteer. Please call me, sir, I want to be your next volunteer. Okay, so Rabbi Aksan, are you ready? Trying to pick some people from different parts of the world as well, so you get to hear different accents. So let's see if Rabbi Aksan, I have a feeling Rabbi Aksan might be somewhere in a Slavic-speaking country, but we'll find out based on the name. It's a guessing game for me. Okay, so here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Rabbi Aksan.
Hello, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm enjoying Christmas so far. So good. I've been eating delicious food. Rabbi Aksan, where are you currently residing?
I'm from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. So I was right thinking that you are from a Slavic country or a former Soviet country. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for reaching out all the way from Uzbekistan. Okay, so we'll do a question. If you've been watching, you know what's going on. So I'll ask you a question. Give me a nice full sentence answer, and then I will give you some feedback. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. So let's talk about learning. What are good strategies to learn a new language?
I think listening music in that language, and while you are listening, you should repeat it, and you should. It will be better when you repeat when recording or speaking, and like listening it again, it helps us to find our mistakes while we talking, and it will improve our pronunciation as well. And I think watching movies in that language also will help us to get um, vocabulary, and I think these are best strategies to learn new languages.
Okay. All right, I'm almost caught up to you. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Very likely in the real exam, you would probably have been interrupted by at least some examiners, okay? Because it kind of felt like you're just going and going and going and going and going, and maybe without an end until I have to stop you and ask you the next question. So careful with that, because being interrupted, it feels awkward. It's frustrating, it's confusing. So you want to avoid situations where the examiner has to interrupt you to get to the next question. So what that means is you need to kind of give a clearer, quicker answer, and then stop and wait for the next question. Okay. I'll give you some tips on that. So your response was about a band 6 to a band 6.5. And it depends on the examiner. Okay. There were a couple of just small classic mistakes that you made, and if you avoid these, you're going to do much, much better. I think you can get even a band 7 with your English, but you have to fix a couple of slight mistakes, okay? Mm-hmm. So first of all, you use the question at the very end of your answer. So you said, I think these are the best strategies to learn new languages. Okay, you want to use the question at the beginning of your answer. Okay, so I think some really good techniques to acquire a foreign language is to listen to music in that language. Okay, so use the question at the beginning instead of at the end. So it's very clear for the examiner that you understood the question, especially if you're paraphrasing it and you're giving the right answer, okay? Okay. So I think some really good techniques to acquire a foreign language is listen to music in that language. And then here you started to switch to using you. And while you are listening, you should repeat it, and it will be better when repeating or recording. And that's where it kind of got a little bit jumbled and awkward. Okay. It often happens that people start to jumble their language when they start saying you should do this, you should do that, and we start thinking about that person instead of myself or people in general. Okay. So, and while listening, you can just take out the you. And while listening, repeat it and record it. Okay, so notice how I'm taking all of these. You can, if you're watching the screen now, you can see me just deleting to make your answers shorter, right? So, and repeat it, record it, and listen again. Okay, so and listen again. This helps to find, so don't, and then here you switched to, it helps us to find our mistake. So now you're switching from the you to the us and the our. Okay. You really want to avoid that in speaking and in writing. So you don't want to switch between I, you, us, our, because then for the listener, it starts to become really confusing. Like, who are we talking about now? Are we talking about you? Are we talking about me? Are we talking about everybody? So who are we talking about, right? So the best way is just to simplify it. Okay. So it helps to find. You often don't need those pronouns. It helps to find mistakes when talking, okay? And then keep this simple too. Watching movies also helps to do the same. Also helps to do the same. So notice I'm still deleting, right? To do the same and get vocabulary. And then we can take away all the rest of this here. and include a very simple, quick example. Okay, that's why I do these on a daily basis. Do you listen to music and watch movies in English?
Yes.
Yeah, so use your own life, right? So that's why I do these daily. And that's enough for your example, and it creates clarity and emphasis for your listener, okay?
Okay.
All right, so here's the question again. I'm going to read it, then the response, then I'll ask you the question one more time. So, what are good strategies to learn new languages? I think some really good techniques to acquire a foreign language is listening to music in that language. And while listening, repeating it, recording it, listening again. This helps to find mistakes when talking. Watching movies also helps to do the same and get new vocabulary. That's why I do this daily. What are good strategies to learn new languages?
I think some really good techniques to acquire a foreign language in listening to music in that language, and while listening, repeating it, recording it, and listening again. It helps us to find mistakes when talking. Watching movies also helps to do the same and getting vocabulary. And I think these are the best strategies to learn languages. As I do every day, I listen music and watch movies.
Okay, so the end got out of hand a little bit. So it was like you're controlling the horse, and at the end the horse got away and got all crazy and started jumping around. But otherwise it was much, much better. So keep the end simple, tighten up the end, okay? So that's why I do this daily. Try it. That's why I do this daily.
That's why I do this daily.
Perfect. And then stop, right? So don't let it get away from you because you were just kind of repeating at the end there what you've already said. So careful with that. Otherwise, it was really good. Pronunciation of the word acquire. Okay, just repeat after me. Acquire.
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 Not acquire.
Acquire.
That's it. Okay, so that's what you want to do. You can practice pronunciation, by the way, by just using Google. Google Assistant will pronounce words quite accurately. So when you come across new words, just type it into Google and then use the speaker function and it'll give you the pronunciation and just repeat it. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir.
You're very, very welcome. Keep up the good studies. Thank you for sharing your English with us, Robiak-san. I hope you do well on your IELTS exam. Everybody, please give her a round of applause. Very brave, coming in from Uzbekistan. Okay, everyone. So thank you, Robiak-san. Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Okay, everyone, so that's all the time I have today for this speaking session. But worry not, I will be back in a few days' time with more live classes. Again, speaking will continue on Wednesday, December the 29th at the same time. Until then, students, use the websites aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. That's what we were using right now. Speak with each other, practice with each other, give each other feedback. So if you don't understand the word the other person's saying, say, hey, wait a second, I didn't understand that word. Can you explain it to me? Oh, this is how you should pronounce that. Okay, you can check the pronunciation of the word together as well. So help each other learn. English is a global language, so practice it together. Again, this was aehelp.com. The website, once you log in, looks like this. If you liked this speaking practice with me and you want to book a full speaking interview with me, you can use this service, the yellow button, Speaking Interview Practice. Okay. To set up a speaking interview, and I will go through a full session with you and give you feedback and practice. So, and of course, the free version with students and these classes is this blue button, the Student Partner Speaking. Okay. All right, everyone. Again, the best first step is just to get our premium IELTS package and learn all of the right strategies for good communication and for good English. And you can do that by clicking this big red button, the join now at aehelp.com. That's it right now. Cass says, see you next week. Cass, I will see you next week. Hopefully a lot of you will come back and join me again. Lots of learning to be had. Students for General IELTS, it's the green background, gieltshelp.com. And I hope everybody has a great holiday season. For those of you celebrating Christmas, for those of you who aren't, I hope you're having a fantastic day regardless of wherever you are in this beautiful world. Much love to all of you. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada for now, and I will be back on Wednesday with more live IELTS classes. Bye, everyone.